Hello everyone and welcome to a bit of an interesting video. I've never done one of these before. It's sort of like a live review of a replay. So I'm doing this because, as I mentioned in the top 24 superstars, TRL Fuvaros did an amazing job fuel saving to get to the end of the race. And as you saw with myself, I actually couldn't count. I actually thought 7 was half of 15 when it's of course 7.5, and then I short filled, which really added to my my problem in the race. But even so, I carried on with the race and I think it was 9th overall. But I said I'd have a look at TRL Fuvaros' perspective and actually have a look at what he did during the race to fuel save in this Porsche 911, because the Porsche did really struggle compared to the Corvette. So let's have a look. I haven't watched this before. This is my first look at this replay. So this is obviously the start of the race where the AI likes to use all your fuel all at once and rev the crap out the car as we come through the Casio triangle. You might hear the buttons occasionally pressed. We've got TRL Lightning behind, we've got Giorgio, we've got Matu, and I'm somewhere in the background. Of course, I had that bad qualifying due to that yellow flag. Even so, we carry on. Let's have a look at if there's any fuel saving going on at the moment. There's no fuel saving going on at the moment, so he's being challenged by TRL Lightning coming into this first corner. It's pretty hard this. So actually Lightning didn't actually make a mistake there, just slight contact. Remember in the guide I said it was very risky trying to make that move on the first corner. It's very tight to do. So obviously a bit of a mistake there. And Fuvaros continues all the same. So we know he's fuel saving at the moment by a little bit, because he's actually gone up to 4th gear here. So he's already fuel saving, which is very interesting, going to a higher gear just in between the corners to keep that extra fuel, keep going with the fuels. That's interesting, because I never went to 4th, if you remember, and I said 3rd was fuel saving, so he was really fuel saving. We just saw it there. He went up to 5th about halfway. Let's see if he does that again. Let's just look behind us. He's still got lots of people behind us. Not fuel saving in 2nd. Maybe a little bit fuel saving at 3/4 there. We're obviously not going to watch the entire race. We'll skip to parts where we think it matters. Currently fuel saving a little bit. Not a huge amount, but enough there that it's probably going to make a little bit of a difference. Of course, saving a few hundred RPM is always beneficial in this sort of scenario. Let's have a look what's happening behind. Giorgio right behind him, so he's under a lot of pressure at the moment, which explains why he's not fuel saving to the full extreme. I am interested to see if he does go to 4th gear again during the S's. So we'll just stay on this for the first lap for now, because Giorgio's right behind him. Is he fuel saving here? Does he go up to 6th gear perhaps? Doesn't. Stays in 5th. Yep, stays in 5th. Doesn't lift off. Straight into the brake. Stays in 2nd gear here. Just misses the first apex. Clips the second one much better. You can cut that a little bit more, of course. And then 3/4 again on the gear change. So interesting stuff. That was a bit more to the max. I'm assuming he's under pressure here. So yeah, it's still 3/4-ish on the tachometer as we head towards the first. That was a big short shift then. Unless my eyes were deceiving me. That was quite a big short shift. How are we doing? So Giorgio, I think, is fuel saving as well here, because he would have gone for the move there. Again, that was a slight short shift. Let's see if he goes to 4th gear again. Doesn't this time. Obviously realised it hampered him a little bit, but stays in 3rd. Stays in 3rd here as well. It's very interesting. So definitely fuel saving there. And we're just going to watch up till the end of Tidgney 2 and the end of Sector 2, and then I think we'll jump on a bit further in the race, see what's going on as he comes through here. We're not seeing any lifting or coasting at the moment. It's just pure slightly shifting earlier. Certainly shifting later than I was in this race. Yes, definitely not short shifting there. And they are pulling away from Matu and Rick as well. So let's continue a bit further on in the race. Let's go to speed this up. Sorry if this is going to make you go crazy. You can see Giorgio was fuel saving there, so let's just go back to that. Obviously, you've never seen me review a piece of footage before live. This is what I actually do. I will scan footage and see what's going on. So he's short shifting a little bit. Giorgio bumper. I see, very interesting strategy there. Giorgio is obviously trying to save fuel himself to get towards the halfway marker. That bumper drafting obviously cost him Fuvaros a little bit there. That's interesting. But obviously he's trying to save fuel as Giorgio, as is Fuvaros. All strategy here, trying to bumper draft. It shouldn't be affecting his safety rating, but he continues on all the same. What lap time is this? So around the 1:59.9. I can't remember what I had at that point actually. Let's just jump back down to myself. So I'm in the 2 minutes. So let's have a look at fuel. I'm just above half. And what is Fuvaros? So Fuvaros has used more fuel than I have, which is expected. I did expect that originally. So that obviously understandable with the fuel loads at the moment. So let's speed this up a little bit further now. Let's get towards... interesting. There we go. Why is Giorgio, for example, going for the overtake here now? Fuvaros still short shifting. Giorgio going for the move up the inside. Clean move. Fuvaros lets him go for it. Doesn't want to... Oh, that was close. Oh, well caught, Giorgio. But very interesting that he went for the move here. So, I mean, fuel-wise, he's definitely used more fuel, so he's not fuel saved as much. That explains why Giorgio, I think he comes in at the end of lap number 6, the next lap. So he's obviously going to try and pull away now. It's all part of his strategy. But let's advance a bit further. Let's see if Fuvaros just stays behind during this situation. Let's see if there's any short shifting. He's got a big gap to the guy behind. As we know, Devil has got quite a pack with him at this point. No short shifting too much here. Of course, you can go to 6th gear here, perhaps, just to save a little bit more fuel. You can see tyre wear taking effect, 144 this time rather than 146. So, yeah, nothing big here at all. So let's advance a bit further on. You see Giorgio is sort of keeping that gap for now. Fuvaros is definitely fuel saving a little bit at least. So let's go to Giorgio. Yeah, you see why Giorgio comes in. Look at that. Look at the fuel difference there. So about 1/8 versus empty. Oh, he made a big mistake at the end of that lap actually. Let's just go back and have a look at that. It was going to be just a fuel saving one, but I want to have a look at this mistake. So is he trying to coast? Now coasting is really hard actually when you're doing this. Is he coasting? No, it doesn't. Just outbrakes himself. Outbrakes himself into the chicane. So that's why we got a yellow flag. I don't know if you remember in the race we did get a yellow flag and then it disappeared. That's the reason why we got one. Obviously he's miles ahead. These guys have really pulled a gap on the field there. So let's go back to Fuvaros because this is the main strategy we want to look at. So fuel saving. Let's have a look what he does in the S's this time with no pressure. And of course the ability to go around the track at ease really. Does he lift and coast in any places? He hasn't got a lot of fuel left, so he's going to have to really stretch this out. And you can see he's in 3rd gear. No change to 4th, so obviously that must have been a mistake earlier on in the race to go to 4th gear. This is why we analyse this stuff. I always do this. If something's really puzzled me, I will always look back at a replay and try and work out what's happened. And it's the way you become a better driver. So, you know, all the aliens will do this. They'll all look at this and go, oh, he did particularly well at this. Let's go have a look what he did differently. A ghost, perhaps you're the fastest in the world on a track. They will all go watch the ghost, have a look what they're doing differently, and then adapt it to their own driving style. As you can see, Fuvaros isn't really fuel saving that much at the moment. So we know he's coming in. He's coming in at the same time as us. In fact, I mean, he fully revs the car out there. Continues on, fully revving the car out. Let's have a look at fuel. So he's very near empty now. I mean, look at the fuel I've got. I've got loads left. So I've been fuel saving correctly here. So that's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I'm surprised at that. I've obviously fuel saved better in the first part of the race. Obviously I got all that draft as well, which is why I made my decision to short fuel myself. But obviously it didn't really pay off in the grand scheme of it because I couldn't count and realised that 7 was not half of 15. But there we go. You know, no fuel saving here at all. He's actually going to the edge of this fuel. I wonder if he's going to coast this last little bit. Let's have a look. Ooh, there was a tiny bit of coasting. Not too much, but there was a tiny bit there. You can see it's basically empty now. So he's coming in with 0 fuel left. So, yep, 0 there. So he timed that to perfection. Myself, so Fuvaros came in with 0. I came in with 5. So 5% difference. We'll be able to see what fuel he puts in now. Does he short fill? Does he go all the way to 99? I suspect he goes to 99. Bearing in mind it's lap 7, not lap 7.5, as I keep making that mistake. So yeah, 100% fills the car. Is anybody close? We've got VP Patom here. Ooh, this is going to be tight. Just gets out in front. So that was pretty lucky. Muzzle Todd ahead though. So let's carry on a bit further in this race because he's going to have to fuel save a little bit more. Okay, let's have a look at this. So he stays behind the Lexus of Muzzle Todd here. I think that's a Lexus. As you can see, short shifting a little bit. Is he going to go for the move? That'd be surprising if he does. I'm surprised he didn't stay behind there. That's interesting. Continues on all the same. Jamie coming in with 0 fuel there. Oh, what a good move that is! Down at the Casio triangle. Well played, Fuvaros. I did mention that in the guide. Good place if you could pull it off. That move there. Well played. Continues on. So let's see about fuel saving now. Is he fuel saving this lap? Not really. There's a little bit of fuel saving, but not a huge amount. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. Let's try and go back to... Where should we go to? Let's just go back a little bit actually. Let's see if there's any short shifting on this straight now, because he's got to save fuel at this point. In fact, I'd be interested to know what fuel I was on in comparison. So he's not fuel saving at all here. So what is in between half and 3/4? What am I on? It's around about the same. I mean, I'm a bit less, but I'm not that much less. So what the hell does he do in the last bit of this race? This is interesting. Okay, well, we'll continue watching, and we'll find out. So yeah, I obviously have to fuel save a little bit more. I'm probably about 5% down, but I'm not that far off Fuvaros here, which I'm really surprised at, as you can probably tell by my voice. I think he's actually on a different fuel map here. If I just go back a little bit, what speed is he doing by the end of this straight? Because I swear that's quite slow. 152. Yeah, that's slow. Look, oh, look at that. I could do it myself. 152. I'm on a fuel map here as well, actually. Oh yes, he's on a huge fuel map. Look at that. I'm on 156 versus 152. So he's definitely on a different fuel map. I'll probably guess 3 or even 4 at this point, because that's very low. Staying in 3rd gear as well, so he's saving a lot of fuel at this point. This is where he's going to get all the fuel back. That's very interesting. 4 or 5 miles an hour difference at the end of the start-finish straight. Very interesting. Continue on through Tidgney 1 and Tidgney 2. I want to see when he gets to half fuel. In fact, do you know where's a good speed trap? Up here, what I do for my bot test. So it's just getting around to half fuel as well. 148, 149. So I think that was about 150. Well, 149 at the 100 meter board, I think it was. There's no coasting yet, so he's not coasting. Alright, so we're on the same fuel map now. So I think he's on fuel map 3, but he's on it a lot longer than I am, which is why he saves fuel. He's on half there. What am I on? See, I'm just under half. This is where I'm trying to survive at this point, and I think this is where Rick's behind me. Here he is, and the big train of cars behind him. Let's go back to Fuvaros. I did want to see if he was fuel saving there, so let's keep going a bit further on in this race. What have we got coming up here? Oh, that was a short shift as well. So it was 149 when we got to 100 meter board last time. 147, so yeah, it's definitely fuel saving. He's just trying to survive that little bit longer here. So we were in the right ballpark in the end, I think. I think our mistake was short fueling and making that miscalculation on lap number. Our strategy was pretty much there, I think. As we saw at the end of the start of the first pit stops, I had a 5% advantage over Fuvaros. So that's interesting in itself, because I was short shifting and like performing the way I was just because the pack was there. There's no point fighting in that situation. So he's done a 202 on lap number 12. What did I do on lap number 12? 202. So yeah, we're doing the exact same thing here. We're not losing out. We're just trying to survive. Right, so let's go to lap. We're going to speed this up a bit further because I know this video's getting on a little bit now. Blimey heck, I've been talking for a while. But this is what I did. This is how I studied the laps. So yeah, hopefully you're finding this interesting. If not, I apologise. There'll be other videos out. There'll be another video out today actually, but Project Cars 2. 100 meter board, 143. Look at that. He's got loads of fuel left as well. So if he needs to push on the last lap, which he doesn't because he's miles ahead, he's fine. So that was really well done. That he pushed in the first part of the race, and he's given himself loads and loads of free air, no pressure in the second half of the race. Really well played by Fuvaros this. I mean, as he crosses the line, that was 126, I think it was, 202.8. So if we compare it to myself, who's, yeah, we've got about the same fuel actually. So it's 126 as you cross the line. And as we cross the line, look at that, we're miles off. That's how much we were fuel saving. 204.9, look at that. If we have a look at Indian food, he's got more fuel than us, but he came in a lap later. But for us, about the same. So yeah, we figured it out really from that. So he was fuel saving. We actually fuel saved better in the first half of the race. So potentially it could have saved us in the pits a little bit, having that extra percentage or so. But we shouldn't have short filled in the pit stops, and I think we would have actually survived, and I think we would have probably been where Indian food is right now. But this is where we live and learn. So the next top 24 Superstars race I'm not involved in because I'm at a party, so it will be in a week's time when I then do it again. So I hope you enjoyed that interesting video. We just saw Fuvaros' strategy there with fuel, and how he's played that strategy to perfection really. Pushing in the first half of the race, and then just letting, you know, saving the fuel in the second half, change of fuel map that, as we saw, even though we can't technically see it, we definitely know it was there, and he was short shifting as well. Not short shifting as much as I was, interestingly, so maybe there's a compromise between fuel map and short shifting. I'll have to look into that a little bit. As I say, very interesting stuff. Hope you enjoyed that video. As I say, there's another video playlist there if you want to watch another one. My logo's there if you want to subscribe. Great job against TRL Fuvaros for this victory. I mean, you can see the gap on the map. Absolutely miles ahead of everybody. But I will see you in the next video. So thanks for watching.